Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get into the market update for this week. I'm going to be looking at all the markets today, guys. Stock market, crypto, you name it all, gold, silver, stuff like that. And so just some really important levels that we should be focusing on when it comes to these markets here. But before I do start, guys, I just want to let you guys know that I am running, I am taking on myself a live trading challenge where I'm going to be starting an account with $5,000. And my goal is to turn that into over 6 figures and then eventually into 7 figures as well too. So I'm going to be taking I'm going to be doing that myself. That's actually that's me. I'm opening up the account with 5,000. First goal is to turn it to 6 figures and then that 6 figures into 7 figures. If you I know I'm allowing a small group of people to see exactly all the trades I'm taking and all that sort of stuff as well too. If you are interested in that, then just book a call with me, guys. Again, I'm only allowing a small group of people to follow me along than what I'm actually doing. If you are interested in joining me and watching me on that challenge, then guys, that's second link in the description there. Click on that. Go book a call with me right now, and then I'll tell you more information about it on the call about the actual challenge I'm doing, and all the details about how you can actually follow along with me and actually join me. And actually see what I'm actually doing when it comes to that challenge there. So if that's for you guys, then make sure you click on that link, that second link in the description there, which I'm really excited about, by the way. Really excited about. I'll be showing you everything from the strategy and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I want to start off with today's market update. Well, obviously work with that, but also secondly, guys, I honestly believe whatever I titled this video, I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but whatever I titled this video is true, right? I believe there is a really big crash that's coming. And I say that in the back of this. If we have a look at the United States inflation rate, okay? The United States inflation rate, we can see the inflation rate starting to pick up a little bit through here. But if we have a look at what's happening through here, okay? So in the past, when we come to, what's actually going on with these markets, in the past, we can see what? We can see that every time we've gone through inflationary problems, there's been a common theme around this. And that is the market we go down a little bit, and then guess what? And then we hold for a little bit, and then we spike. We go up. This was back in the 40s. Okay, so the theme is this, okay? The theme is this. In the inflationary spike, there's a inflationary spike there. There's a inflationary spike there, okay? So the first what ends up happening is we get the first boom. We get the first boom. That's the inflationary boom. And then we get the bust. And then guess what? And then as soon as it comes down, then it holds for a little bit through here. Now again, guys, this is 20 years worth of data. So that may be like 1 year where it just holds there. Okay. And then guess what? And then we end up getting a secondary spike. We get the come down, and then it comes up a little bit, and then it holds for a little bit, and then we get the secondary spike. You'll notice the secondary spike is a lot higher than the first one. Now, what's going to cause this pattern to happen, right? What causes it to happen, right? Well, firstly, guess what? This boom here was created by what? We know, printing of money. Now they're doing the tightening and the raising rates and all that sort of stuff. So we're actually starting to do this here, right? And we're doing this. So if history is a predictor, firstly, we're probably... if we have a look at what would cause this secondary spike, what caused the first spike? Obviously printing of money. So obviously the secondary spike is caused by what? Even more money, right? Even more stimulus into the economy, right? To get things going. Now, why would there be more in the economy? Why would they have to do more that time? Well, obviously, if they're doing more to stimulate the economy, which causes a even bigger inflationary spike, then guess what? They're doing it because there's actually a recession, right? There's problems in the economy. They got to pump the economy. Recession, bad things, print a lot of money. So that's what's probably likely to happen once again, right? There's probably going to be a secondary spike. So the recession that's coming, the mega crash, and the recession that's coming is going to cause what I believe is one of the greatest inflationary spikes, just going based off history, that we've ever seen, right? So we see this through here, And we can actually see that through there, right? So that's actually what I'm seeing through there when it comes to this here. Now, how we could take advantage of that is, one, we do know there's going to be a recession, right? It may be even starting right now. Like, we don't know, right? But we're definitely going to go into a recession next year, right? We just know that. Is it going to be the first quarter next year? Is it going to be second quarter? Like, we don't know. We're definitely going to go into a recession. Okay, so 2024 is going to be a bit of a tight year for most people. Now, for here in Australia, I'm not sure what it is for overseas. You guys can leave a comment in the section below. But for here in Australia, 20% of homeowners, are using 40% of their take-home money to pay off the mortgage. 40%. So 20% of all homeowners are using 40%. That will have a cascading effect eventually through the economy as things start to get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, right? Things start to get really, really tight through there. That's why I always believe that trading the markets, and again, I'm giving my free trading course. I teach you my trading system and all that sort of stuff. And if you are interested in joining me on that challenge that I'm actually doing myself, where I'm taking $5,000, turn it into 6, and then eventually 7 figures. Again, guys, I don't know how long that's going to take me. But if you're interested in joining me on that challenge, then just book a call with me with that second link in the description there. But the purpose of me saying that, and that's one of the reasons why I love trading the markets, because when it goes down, you can make a lot of money. Anyway, and so that's what's probably likely to hit the market, right? With that 20% using 40%, that's going to have a cascading effect in the markets from there. So that's actually this is a real big picture here. So the big picture is that we're probably going to go into a recession now. If we're looking at timelines, right? If we look at timelines, next year, recession, end of next year, possibly start of 2025, massive injection of printing money. Massive injection of printing money. Therefore, that means 26, 27, 28, 29 possibly are going to be massive inflationary booms in the markets, right? And I honestly believe that the next massive boom is going to be the metals and the miners. The metals and the miners. I honestly believe, let me take off the moving average here. Right. I honestly believe, let me bring up the weekly chart. I honestly believe, just like what happened back in the 70s. Look, this is this whole thing here is the 70s spike. Now remember I said before that the secondary spike is much bigger. Well, look at this here. That was the start of the 70s. This was the finish of the 70s. I honestly believe that's coming again. So, as you can see here, right, what was that? Probably 77 to 1977 to 1980. Massively spike, okay? And this is where, like, guys, like, once you understand this sort of stuff, the challenge that I'm doing right now, I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually do that, but I'm pretty confident of doing this, especially when you start to see massive setups like this. I was like, oh man, this thing could be really, 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 really good. Anyway, but I don't believe that's coming yet, right? I do believe we have maybe another 1 or 2 years before we start to really get going through here when it comes to the secondary spike. And the same for silver, right? Look what happened with silver. Like, this is the silver spike. Can you imagine this happening with silver again and you having options on that? We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of percent, right? That's like having a $5,000 position with an option, and that happens. And what is 1,000%? 2,000%? 3,000%? 4,000%? You see what I'm saying there, right? It's like so much money is going to be made. And the reason why I'm telling you this here right now is because so much money is going to be made from understanding this, but also understanding probably the timing of things. And that's where I honestly believe, by looking at the silver market through here, this silver market's been doing this. As you can see, right? Pretty much nothing through here. Why is that? Well, I honestly believe that that's building a bit of a base, and I am just silently hoping that it continues to build the base for another 12 months or so. And then when we eventually do break out, guess what's coming? Right? Because look what happens. Whenever we go sideways for a long time like this and we eventually start to break out, guess what's coming? Right? Just like back here. Boom. Actually, really, really similar. Isn't it? Look at it. Back here, this is back in the 1970s. Started the 70s, went up, and then through to 1970. This actually started a bit later. So silver started about 1977, 1978, and then we had this cascading effect. Interesting, right? And then we had what? And then we had this. That was the start of the 70s into the 70s here. Interesting stuff, right? But look what's happening here. We had what? Start of the 20s. This is what's been happening ever since. Nothing. Interesting. It's very, not the exact same, right? But very similar. We're doing nothing. But guess what happens when the market does nothing? A lot starts to happen, right? A lot starts to happen. So this is where guys, like, even though the mega crash is going to create so much wealth in the markets here, once you start to realize this here, one, from a trading perspective, guys, if you do actually need a trading system, guys, that first link in the description, I'm giving my free trading course. And the very first video you get is like a detailed video teaching my actual trading system. So if you want it for free, then just go get that first link in the description, right? When it comes from trading the market is phenomenal, right? But also setting yourself up for some potentially big, massive moves that are coming, and they take time, right? They take years to unfold. And the more we can stay on top of it like we're in right now, by looking back over the last 100 years, this has happened twice, and now it's actually happening again, right? And so we can see that these are the sort of things through here. And I honestly believe things like, and this is where like my baby when it comes to the mining sector, my baby in a sense, so to speak, is what? My baby in a sense is why is that not GDXJ? It's not allowing me to go back any further, is it? No. We'll keep it there anyway, all right? So, is that it? Oh yeah, well it's not allowing me to go back any further. But anyway, so I honestly believe that that the GDXJ is probably going to be one of those markets to do really well as well too, right? So the purpose of me saying this, guys, is that if you start to think about it, right, if you start to get positioned for this and you buy enough time with options, and say for example 25 comes around, 26 comes around, and you know, right, you've been waiting patiently for this, and then you start to put on positions, a $5, a $10, or $20,000 position, right? You think about that for a minute, okay? If this could potentially do thousands and thousands of % return, what is that, right? If you start to do like a $10,000 position and 1,000%, that's 100 grand. 2,000%, 200 grand. 4,000%, right? Of, you know, and we're talking about like that's potentially turning like a $10,000 position into $500,000 or more, right? Or if you do a $20,000 position, you can start to look at potentially 7 figures, especially if you do very high risk, high reward, like way out of the money type things where you're risking the whole lot. So if you risk a whole lot, but then potentially that could do like 10 or 20,000% return. I know this sounds crazy, guys, but if we look at the numbers here, and again, there's no guarantees that this is happening right at all, right? But I'm just sharing with you the big numbers here that I'm looking at myself to say, okay, then even if I invest a small amount of money or a smaller amount of money, what are the potentials of this happening, right? So again, like not right now, right? Because if you do this with options right now, you're probably going to get killed, because I don't believe we're going to see a real big movement out of these for another 12 months. We may get a nice little spike out of gold and so on and so forth, but I really believe the best moves that are coming are going to be on the other side of the election, 25 and potentially even 20. So that 26 period or 29 period, I honestly believe is going to be one of the greatest moves out there. And what you want to see is what's going to cause that, right? It's going to cause that what? The next round of massive QE. Why are they going to do it? Why are they going to do it in the next round of QE? They're not going to stop doing QE, by the way, guys. If you look through history, they're not going to stop doing it. What's going to cause the big round of QE? It's obviously going to be things are not good, right? So things are really bad. And so the injection, I believe, is going to be much bigger. Like if you think COVID was big, and if you look at the money that they injected in the economy from COVID, you saw what happened to markets. So if you look what they're going to do now over the next 12 months, and if you're ready for it, you can potentially set yourself up to have an extraordinary, finished to the end of this decade, right? So if you think about for the rest of your life, and so that's where for me, guys, for me personally, I'm always watching to see what's going on the big picture, but also what's going on also on the small picture as well too. So with that being said, guys, there's actually a bit of a big picture for you. Again, that's the whole big picture there that I'm seeing right now. And again, if you start to position yourself over the next sort of, next couple of years, and just be mindful of that, guys. Not be looking for the short little, I'm looking to make money, looking to make $200 today. Okay, if we can start to look bigger, then that's what the wealthy do, right? They see what's coming, they get ready, they pounce, and then they make a lot of money. And you can as well too, right? Just being ready for this, but not be so eager to get in, like, oh, I'm going to get in now before it happens, right? Well, what if it doesn't happen for another 2 years, right? Now if you're buying it, that's different, right? So if you're buying it, but especially when it comes to other strategies. Anyway, so let's go look at the actual short-term analysis here, guys, when it comes to the good old markets from here. And the name of, again, guys, that's long-term investing, sort of strategies. Let's actually continue here with short-term analysis. We're probably, again, guys, looking at the markets from here, we've come back down to a level of support through here. Markets have been really coming down from here, as you can see. And the big thing that you'll notice where we are right now, we're actually quite the distance away from the moving average. And I've actually been calling for a bit more of a pullback now for a couple of days, and it just still hasn't happened. I've been saying don't fight the markets. I've been saying there's probably another drop coming in the markets, and that's exactly what's happened, right? High, lower high, lower high. But as we can see, right, we can see here down, up, lower high, down, up, and then guess what? Another lower high, and then now we go down again, right? So we go down again. So I wouldn't expect too much. I probably expect like a bit of a bounce coming soon, like this here, like something like that or something like that. Again, we're getting pretty far away from the moving average right now. And as you can see, every time we get too far away from the moving average, we start to get like a bit of a bounce from here. So again, I wouldn't be looking to buy the bounce because who knows when the bounce is going to happen. The trend is your friend, so always looking to go with that. And you guys know, right? I've called this down move this entire time. I did expect a bit more of a bounce coming earlier, but the market is completely on the downside from here. And so now we actually can see what's going on from there. Again, there's actually a bit of a short-term level of support where we are right now. Let's go look at that. Oh, we don't need the moving average on the weekly chart. Yeah, there's probably a lot. There's actually a lot of levels of support through here, guys. So again, I wouldn't be too surprised to start to see this thing start to have like a bit of a short-term bounce out of the markets from there. Let's go look at the NASDAQ as well too. And the NASDAQ actually hasn't been that weak, right? Compared to, now you'd think, okay, the tech sector was the one that had the biggest moves. You'd think, okay, well, maybe it's going to have the biggest drop. But so far, it's only just slightly been going down from here. Now, what comes next the big thing that I'm looking for on the NASDAQ is AI still going to be the thing to hold on to? Is the tech sector going to be the thing to hold on to? The big thing I'm watching for is this going to be some sort of a false breakout here? Now, what I mean by false breakout, I mean by this, okay? So let me take you off the screen there. So as you can see, right, what do we end up having through here? We end up There you go. We end up having that move down through there, right? And we had move this down through here, right? So there's a bit of a triangle pattern here. Now, is this going to be a false breakout or is it going to be a true breakout? No one really knows, right? But let's actually see what the market delivers here. If the market delivers a scenario number one, where it actually does rally back up, we start to do something like this, and then we start to rally back down, down, the prices are down, okay? Now, that's scenario number one. Scenario number two is what I'm watching for is, if it does do something like this, where it starts to break up, but we start to get some really strong buys, and we start to get something like that coming out of the markets. Something like that, maybe even a bit higher as well, the break above this high here, because we're making lower highs right now, so the sellers are in control, so I wouldn't be trying to buy this market yet. Right, but if this is going to be, if the AI is going to take control again, okay, and then AI is going to be the boom and so on and so forth. If that is going to be the sector, the market will start to tell us. Right now, no. Right now the market's making lower highs, we're breaking previous lows. The sellers are in control as we speak right now. Is this going to be some sort of a short-term false breakout? Well, that's what we want to see, right? We want to see, okay, if it does do something like this, then that's what. If we do something like this moving up, then we'll probably look for a bit of a pullback and then start to see another big move up from there. But this is what you'll start to see in the markets. You'll start to see something like this here, which causes what? This whole thing being a massive false breakout. okay? So as we can see from here, looking at the Dow Jones, and once again, look at the weakness in the Dow Jones. Whew. High, lower high, lower high. And so traders, if you've been watching my videos for the last few months, the big thing I really want to share with you is that all through here, I was saying this is a pullback, this is a pullback, this is a pullback. A pullback is nothing other than downtrend, pullback, downtrend, pullback, downtrend. Oh, this is a downtrend here, right? But we just get the pullbacks through here. And so trying to go long this market right now is not a good idea, right? Now, again, because we've actually been selling off quite strongly, especially on the Dow Jones, like look at that thing come off. Because we've been doing that, we're probably going to get some sort of a bounce soon, right? Now, I don't know exactly when that's going to be, especially on the Dow Jones. But on the Dow Jones, what do we have here? A massive, massive false breakout. And this is actually not looking good at all. Why? Because look at this here. That was that last low, and now we're breaking that low here. So I honestly believe we could actually be getting ready for what? A potential head and shoulder formation. If we do get the bounce here, then guess what? That's actually building that shoulder, head, shoulder, and then away we go. It may not happen, right? But that's a potential of what's going on from there. Let's look at the short-term analysis on gold, and gold is still continuing to rise. If we look at that, some of that short-term movement, we actually had a bit of a spike through here. So the big thing you want to be watching out for with gold is that right now I'm looking at the hourly charts and the 4-hour charts, okay? We've done a lot of move up and we've done a move here. If for some reason gold starts to do something like this here, if gold starts to do something like this here, right, and we start to make our way down, down, and down like that through there, okay? If we do that and we start to break above these highs here, guess what that is, guys? That's an end of trend move, and we're probably likely to see a much, much, much bigger pullback from here. Okay, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but generally what ends up happening with these type of moves, and just looking at the daily charts, we've made what? We've made such a big move up that I know a lot of people are probably starting to really time in on gold right now. So gold right now is not probably a good, again, this is for trading, guys, okay? Trading is all about just looking for good entry points, okay? High probability entry points. And we all know, right, that when the market's gone up for quite a bit of time, we're actually due for some form of pullback. And so that's where we're at right now. And so that's what's probably happening right now. Big move up. And again, if we do fail here, which I actually do see coming, like, and I say fail here, it's just because we're due for some form of a pullback here, guys. Now, by the way, I do have an investing portfolio that I am long gold. So I'm like, but I've been long gold for many years. It's like, that's an investing, right? Why am I long gold, right? Because I see what's coming by the end of the decade, but that's just buying gold and letting it go, right? So, but on a short-term level basis, we're actually pretty far away from the moving average, as you can see, right? And we don't get too far away from the moving average before we start to get some form of a pullback. And so we actually want to see this thing start to pull back here, start to get the moving average, start to trend up, you know, something like this, right? So they get the moving average coming up through here somewhere, maybe, you know, then maybe get the market doing something like this, and then start to break up from there. So, but I do see that thing being a bit of a false breakout, I would say, looking at that level through there. Looking at let's go look at the TMF market from here. And TMF, the trend is your friend until the end, right? Look at this thing here, just getting absolutely just hammered, absolutely hammered. So we're getting high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We're possibly coming to an end. Give you guys a bit of hope. They're still holding on to this thing. Man, I know one person right now, he's just still holding on and holding on and holding on and buying more. It's like, but he's probably going to be right? He's probably going to be right eventually. But who knows? This thing could end up down at $2 before it starts to bottom out. You know, this actually could be one that last little, yeah. It's just interesting. I do see TMF eventually having another big spike, probably maybe even next year. But I'm definitely not in TMF anymore myself. Let's go look at the crypto market. Let's finish up the crypto market. Crypto market, big spike up to the upside, as you can see from there. A big break above that resistance level. We are at a bit of a short-term level. Actually, no, not yet. We're getting very, very close, but we did break above that level through there. A nice move up. If we have a look at the 52 moving average, we actually went from flat through here, right? So really no trend through here, and then a big spike up. What comes next out of this here? Do we actually start to see an upward trend from here? That'd be actually quite interesting to see, right? to see if we do start to get a bit of an upward trend. If we do, then we'll possibly start to see this thing start to go like a bit sideways from it. Wait for the moving average to start to catch up maybe. And then maybe just start to go through here. And then maybe actually start to see another move to the upside. But a big spike to the upside. If this fails though, if it fails and we start to see a move back down to here, right, if we start to see a sharp move down like this, yeah, that's definitely not a good sign for the bulls when it comes to the crypto market. So there we go, guys. Bit of a big market update for you today, guys. Have a great day.